people, right? And then spreading out and then taking advantage of it and doing the right thing, right? I mean, I think I watched most of that video, like that interview, and I thought, damn, that's, I didn't know that story behind James. And it was just, to that point, I came in from your perspective, right? I know you. And so now you introduced me to James. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen him before and I've joined one of his groups, so I thought I didn't really pay attention to it. So the same goes for that as far as that goes too. But being somebody that's is part of Tier 5, I mean, that's just what I do, right? I mean, I'm just trying to branch out and do the best I can with that, which is why I put out that little video trying to edit that funnel and get that stuff going, because I kind of been lax on it lately, but I'm definitely going to, within the next week, put that out there.
Well, my funnel suck. I was hoping people would, to some extent, I give my funnels, but I was hoping to some extent people would essentially just make their own damn funnels, because I'm not a marketer and it's not my thing. But I'm glad you're here and you're doing it. So I've sold. I still have. What's up, Jordan? I still have lots of different people that are at least 800 that are on that, 830 something that are on that $1 a day plan. So it's almost, it ends up being 22,000 a month that come just from fucking people paying. And none of those, and to be honest, none of those people even actually use the software. They just pay me $1 a day, and so it's retarded, really. But
right. I mean, damn.
This is Shane. So Shane's one of my partners. So we're just I'm doing the interviews to some extent to help them as well. So he's just kind of here for to hang out with us. Can you hear us just fine, Jordan? We can't hear you, buddy.
Yeah, I think his mic's off.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I'm here.
So we still have a little bit of time, Jordan. Thanks for coming early and hanging out. And thank you, by the way, for agreeing to do this interview. I know you're really busy. It looks like we still have 14 minutes technically when we're supposed to join. I know you're really busy and you got a lot of stuff. So you got so much stuff going on. So I sent you a couple messages, by the way. Just because I know we kind of we jumped into this and it's a little bit early. It's a little bit early before we're actually supposed to start. And I'm actually already live because Shane was hanging out and I just kind of typically live stream my life. But man, I'm really excited to interview you because I've been, I reached out to you a while back ago and told you, kind of what, why I really reached out to you is because you really came out of nowhere. And I kind of the way that I see it, to some extent, the way that I see it, I kind of attribute you to a lot of different changes that have recently, happened in ClickFunnels and their entire affiliate model. Because I watched the whole stuff, and from my point of view, to some extent, I've been hey, this guy's actually caused a lot of this stuff right here. So
yeah, for better or worse, yeah, it did. Did you want to restart or what do you think? I didn't know if I interrupted something or not.
No, you didn't interrupt. I was just actually, so Shane, like I said, he's one of my friends and one of my partners. And to some extent, these interview series I'm doing to help them for one of the courses that I have. This is essentially about making money on internet and on Facebook. And you're really good, obviously, for that, because I think you have to agree, Jordan, that maybe not all the money that you make, but you make a good amount of money on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I've made my living entirely, kind of through social media, so to speak. A lot of organic things and a lot of community aspects, and I'm sure we'll dive a little bit into the SAM funnel and what it was and how it came to be and how it exploded and then how it ended, but also how do we, go beyond that. But that was very much the result of community growth through, taking a concept that people are really passionate about and giving them a tool that, it wasn't perfect, obviously. But yeah, I've loved building systems and tools and programs and all that kind of stuff for several years.
So I'm cool either way. I don't really rehearse for my interviews or have like an agenda. I just kind of like to see what's going on. I will tell you that I leverage my audience, and I've got a whole list of questions, as you can see right here. I got a whole list of questions that have came in from my audience specifically that they wanted to specifically ask you. I'm in there all sorts of stuff, and I may or may not even ask those questions. It really just kind of depends on you and your personality and your character, and like more or less where things naturally go with me. So depends on how cool you are. Like, for example, we could maybe not talk about business at all if you want to talk about, you know, consciousness and higher powers and stuff, because I'm totally interested in stuff like that. Maybe if you want to talk about drug experiences and stuff like that, those are things that interest me as well. So there's a lot of different ways that this could go if I lead the interview, because I'm a crazy fucking person, I guess, according to some people.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'm open to all of it.
So I think as far as for a lot of what the interview's for to some extent is, you know, there's so many people curious about, you know, making money on the internet and on Facebook and online. So I guess one of the first things I would be curious to know, considering that we've got some people on the live audience already that are kind of like waiting for us to start, which technically we don't start our interview for another 11 minutes. But, you know, kind of one thing I would like to clear up is what would you really honestly, and I want you to tell me honestly, what would you say to all those fucking assholes that want like a step-by-step 1, 2, 3, I've got money tomorrow and all of a sudden I'm rich because I shared a link?
What do I think of their followers or of those types of marketers?
No, like I'm just saying, what would you say to those people? Like if somebody comes and is like, hey, Jordan, what's the 1, 2, 3, you know, give me the magic pill. I want some money by tomorrow. Like what would you say to that person who says, hey, my dream is to not actually have to do any work and have true passive revenue, but I don't really want to do any work?
Yeah. So I think the proliferation of the affiliate marketing industry has brought a lot of ghost promises. And I think that happens because marketers are trying to sell their programs, right? And there's nothing wrong with them trying to sell their programs. That's cool. But people need to know that marketing in general, and marketing, especially affiliate marketing, is 10 times harder than anyone says it is or believes that it is. And even when you get into it, you find you can't, and I say this in my group all the time, you can't treat it as if it's like this side hustle thing. I think people have been painting the side hustle concept, and if you're going to work side hustle effort, you're going to get side hustle money, which is like, I might make $20 a month or something because someone randomly clicked your link that you were spamming all over the internet. And for me, I really love to help beginners. I have a heart for beginners. I care about people who want to get going, but really want to help the people who are ready to help themselves and fill in the gaps, fill in the lines. Because even if I gave you an ABC, which that's the point of the 30 days book, that's the point of like a lot of other marketers' plans, is here's exactly what you can do, but they can't possibly give you the disposition for every answer in the book. So even if they gave it to you, even if I gave it to you, there's going to be a lot of decisions to be made, even if we're the ones creating the programs. And like, you just literally validated the concept that people will pay you to be a Facebook friend. And like, that's enough. You're crazy enough to go out and do that and just prove that you can sell literally anything. You can sell anything.
So far, growing every day.
And like,
yeah,
that,
I mean,
it's crazy.
I completely agree with your concept there. I mean, with what you're saying. So I definitely didn't mean to interrupt there. I thought you were kind of like headed out to the end. But when it comes down to it, is like, I myself have been in this for like 7 years, getting like group after group, training after training, learning after learning. And the one thing that I have found is exactly what you're talking about, right? There is no turnkey. There is no easy way. There is no, let's make a, $500 in 5 minutes type thing that everybody's putting out there like it is. That false perception is really what, is like the shiny object, if you would. And once people get behind the door and they see everything, they're like, this is a lot of work, and then they kind of lose their momentum. But still, like, to a person that's like done something, and I've actually been getting the ball rolling in the other direction. To your point, it just validates it like 100%. because like I said, I'm not exactly to the point where I want to be, but I'm headed in that direction because again, you get what you put in, right? If you put in a certain amount of hours, you put in a certain amount of effort, you get that back. And it's just that if you do the proper things, even if you answered, to your point, validated every single question properly, and they followed it to the T, you still have to go through that process. And I think that's the solidest point I've ever heard when it comes to, making money on the internet. And nobody likes to really hear that either. That's the sad part, is like everybody wants to hear oh yeah, here's how to do this. And that's why numbers show and numbers get people's attention. Once you get their attention, I think we owe it to them to like say, hey, this is the real way, right? This is how you really should do it. But anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all.
One of the things I really like about you is your attitude. You strike me as just a really likable, trustworthy guy, just naturally. How much influence do you think that your voice has had? Because it's your voice in those videos, right? I think the key to the SAM funnel and even this new funnel that you made for the One Funnel Way Challenge, I think a lot of the key to the success from that, me looking at it personally, is literally just your fucking voice. Like how much do you think your voice is playing in your success? Do you think if you had a different voice, like my annoying ass voice, do you think that you would have as much success?
Well, I'm not able to sell Facebook friends, so I think we each can.
I think you could. Have you tried it, Jordan? I think you could.
I haven't, but it's so dang crazy. I just might try it. No, okay. So I don't know. We're still 5 minutes shy, so I guess we have like a pre-interview thing going on here, which is great. So I don't know. I'm sure we'll share more too. But like I came from a bit of the theater world. So I trained in. There's a lot of vocal training and performance training. And by the way, like literally I shoot all of my videos in fact, like, I've used really expensive gear, especially in the early days, thinking that that's what made a better product. It doesn't. In fact, so now just so I can empower people to believe that they can go do it, this is a $50 a blue snowball microphone. I use this for every single one. I shot the entire SAM funnel on this mic at this computer with tools that are readily available to everyone for under $100.
I was wondering if you have an affiliate link for that mic. It's one of my questions I have to ask you. Like, do you have an affiliate link for that mic right there?
It's on Amazon. Anyone can go get it.
Do you have an affiliate link for it? I want to see how serious you are. Do you have an affiliate link for that mic right there?
I have sold probably more of these links than any other these mics than any other human being on the planet.
So you do have an affiliate link, right? No shit, you got an affiliate link where like that's how your brain's working, right? Like what you're doing is like you're an affiliate marketer, and like for that mic right there, and that's a very, like, to me, that's a very visible thing. It's right there positioned where everybody can see it, where a lot of people may ask, and you sound so great, you got that natural voice, where a lot of people may be like, hey, what mic is that, Jordan? And you're like, oh, hey, here's my affiliate link, go buy it, it's right there. How much money have you made from selling that mic?
I swear to you, I do not push this mic hard, and I don't have it
memorized. The mic paid for itself, though, I bet. Yeah, sure. I mean, and again, it's like you have to delegate your time too. Like on Amazon, you're looking at like 3 to 4% for a $50 purchase. It's just not worth the domain that I'd have to purchase for like a quick memorizational, like link redirect. So for other programs like EasyVSL, that is one thing that I promote because I use it. I only promote tools that I actively use. That's just one of I want to be integrous, and I do not promote a single product that I don't personally own, use, or really endorse. But like EasyVSL, I got the domain geteasyvsl.com, and I've, made a couple $100 through that, teaching people how to make VSLs just like the SAM funnel. And people have gone off and done that. And actually, I think there's a couple marketers here on your page that have taken the inspiration from the SAM funnel. Sadly, they're still using the videos, which I hopefully they'll stop because they're getting me in trouble. Go make your own stuff. But some people have actually gone off and made their own videos, and that's super cool. But yeah, anyone can go get this. It's $50, and you can get a kit with the arm and the pop filter, and it sounds like really, really good up close. And you can add some compression settings and things to make it just pop. But otherwise, literally, it's the copy. It was the message that made people excited about that whole thing, not the mic. A mic in anyone else's hands is going to produce a different thing, and it could be better, it could be worse, it could be the same. And that's the big thing. So I love helping people
spread their own message.
I think that really shows in your group. I really liked being in your group, and I think it really shows in your group. Like I think if I polled your audience, and I think if I polled your audience, and obviously that's what matters, right? Is your audience and not mine. And for everybody to some extent. I mean, life is really all about you, no matter how you want to look at it. At the end of the day, life is really all about you. And if you look at your own audience, those are the ones that are going to be actually funding you and making you money. And I think if I were to go poll your actual audience, most of them would be like, I love this guy. He's a likable guy. Even if you delivered a subpar product, even if you were like, hey, I'm delivering you this and it's not so great. I think even just your personality, people wouldn't complain about that. Not that I'm saying that you do deliver subpar products or anybody should, but obviously having the type of personality and charisma where you could just be like, okay, hey, here's a shit product and people will buy it and still love you for it. That's a great advantage, especially if you add on top of that, okay, let me deliver a good product and a good service like you actually do. Then it kind of makes you unstoppable. And I think that's one of the things I've liked about you so far is like you just have that genuine, like caring type of, now deep down inside, because we're not besties and stuff, I don't know if you're like a wolf in sheep's clothing, but if you are, you're wearing that sheep's cloth like very, very well.
I glued it on. Yeah, it's on there permanent. No, and seriously, dude, I appreciate that. It's funny, like when I saw you initially, I saw something about Tier 5. It was like 6 months ago, all before all these shenanigans happened, and I went through your whole funnel, and I went through the whole thing, and that was pretty cool. And that was like just such an interesting idea. And I didn't even know who you were or the stuff you were doing. I watched a bunch of your videos and I thought they're hilarious. And then you had the hats. I don't know if you're still doing that thing. But like, I don't know what happened. I didn't get a hat, but I always wanted that stupid hat. And I was like, man, that is such a unique position. That's such a unique. So now I've been keeping that in the back of my mind. What can you add to a funnel that makes, that's something about you. It's like, hey, I'm wearing this wolf hat. If you want one of these wolf hats, get it. It's $20. A fox, a bear.
I can send you this. I got a wolf there. I keep my wolves at home though, because they're a wolf for my partner hat for my partner.
And I'm guessing you're drop shipping them. Is that right, or do you actually distribute?
Yeah, no. So not really drop shipping, but I've got a partner, one of my inner circle partners. He kind of does print on demand. He has his own print shop, and he prints them and ships them out to community members.
Yeah, sweet. So yeah, I'm really not a wolf. In fact, if I was, it probably would. I think wolves
like a sheep in wolf's clothing, right? Is what it is. You're like a sheep in wolf's clothing.
No. I'm saying I'm not a wolf. If anything, I'm really more a wolf in sheep's. Wait, is that right? A sheep in wolf's clothing? Yeah, the way you said it. Yeah. No, I really do care about people, and that matters to me, and people's results matter. And I don't know. I've been around long enough to find that the people who screw people over end up eating their own sauce. And not that I have that inclination or desire at all, but I just think that there's a more universal role at play that you're gonna effectively account for your own actions and your decisions and how you treat people. And on that day, I want to be thankful that I'm doing what I'm doing.
I agree. I agree. I think that's a good philosophy. Well, look, it is 12:30 my time. So I'm gonna introduce you as Jordan. How do I say your last name, by the way? I want to say
Mederich. Mederich. Yes.
Jordan Mederich, the creator of the SAM funnel and the genius that could be attributed to many recent changes in the ClickFunnels affiliate program. And I do want to kind of get to that. I got a lot of different questions from my audience that I said, we may or may not ask, just kind of depending on how the natural vibe of stuff goes. But what I'd kind of like to start with is just kind of like an introduction of yourself that would impress us. Like, get that fucking credibility out of the way. Like, bam, you're credible. But I'd like if you could just kind of to start that introduction with kind of like, I'd like to first know before the introduction, kind of like what the relationship was between you and your dad when you were little. Like, was that good, or how was your family life when you were little?
So you want me to do? So I'll do introductions and then that.
No, just tell me like how was your family life? Was it good or bad? And then if it was great, then we'll just talk about your credibility. If it was bad, we'll dive into that and figure out something.
Yeah. No, it was really good. And I think that they empowered me. They voted for me all the time and supported me through a lot of stuff. And I remember one time, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. A lot of people kind of have that story, but like really So family of 7, my mom's, my parents are both teachers in different aspects. And, so obviously it's like, man, you know, money was always tight. The silver spoon that we ate from came from Goodwill. And we, you know, 15 passenger van, that whole type of a thing, like shuttling around the country. But I remember one time, like I used to do a lot of plays, as it kind of came from a little bit of the theater aspect, and I'm a filmmaker too. So I love all that kind of stuff. But one time I was the king of the wicked monkeys in The Wizard of Oz. I don't know why this just sparked in my head, but it's interesting. While everyone else was out there, like they all performed and stuff, and then their parents came and gave them a big thing of roses. It's like this, you know, like an iconic congratulations, way to crush it in your performance, whatever thing for the theater. But what my dad brought me, and this was a really impactful story, he had a rose bush that he had been growing for months, probably a couple years for it to actually bloom, and he grew it himself. And then at the end of my play, he actually cut off the biggest rose that he grew, and he wrapped it in tinfoil. And he brought that to me as like the congratulations type of thing. And that probably meant more to me than any other kid, you know, in that area. That really stuck with me, and how important just the small things are to make a difference, like kind of sacrificially. Anyway, all that to say, yeah, things were not perfect. Things were never like, you know, we've really grown to become friends instead of them just being my parents. And things weren't perfect. They aren't for anybody, but I think it's how we look at our relationship with our parents that defines our perspective of how things were. And so looking in hindsight, you can define, now that I'm a parent, I understand what they went through, and it helps me to understand why they did things they did, even if they did things incorrectly.
So you had basically love and support, but just didn't have so much money. So your mom and dad gave you lots of love and support. They just didn't have all the money. Or like the little rich kids who have money, they just don't have a lot of love and support.
Yeah, and that's a different type of currency, right? So I got that love and support currency, and then I just knew that if I wanted to fill in the gaps with the financial piece, I'd have to figure that out.
So tell me about that. Walk me through that, kind of like, you know, where you've been at as far as experience and what you've done so far, where people should, you know, really, really listen to you.
Well, I know we're talking about the SAM funnel, but it was just, I'm an offer creator. So I've built some systems that have done really, really well in some of the like network marketing spaces. I'm a filmmaker as well. I have a film on Amazon Prime that people can watch, I think, all over the world. And I love to like create products. I love productization. I love creating things that people can engage in steps. And in case you guys couldn't tell, I love being like, okay, here's the story. Here's the step you need to take. Then you get to move to this step. Then you get to move to this step. Because that's how the human mind works. We need to think sequentially. And so some marketers, they tend to think in terms of spaghetti. Like, here's all these pieces that intercombine, and then it creates this plate. Well, no, human beings think, especially men, think conceptually in terms of like a waffle, right? Like, here are these squares and these pieces that kind of fall together. So what I do in my marketing, which has been a little bit different than maybe unique, is how do we tell the story through a series of steps that helps them to not only know, like, and trust us. By the way, you just mentioned at the beginning that I'm likable. That's part of the deal, is that you create this likability through these series of steps, and it's not fabricated. If you're not a likable person, people aren't going to like you, right? So you can't, like, marketing just exemplifies who we already are, but we need to, in a very short amount of time, indoctrinate people into our brand, into our products, and help them to understand why they need to be involved with us. And often I believe that is best done through a bit of like an ascension and that type of thing. So I've built a lot of ascension models and that kind of stuff. So, and then, yeah, most recently, right now, what I'm doing is I'm helping a lot of digital and affiliate marketers I build funnels for them. I have a membership. It's called The Core. And I think we've got like 250 or 280 members or something in that. And every single month I release a brand new funnel to that group. And John, you're in the group as well. A brand new funnel that you can actually literally plug directly into your account, switch your affiliate links, and go promote it. Like, it's virtually ready to go. You can split test it, you can change it, but it becomes your funnel. So I'm giving away my own funnels that do this kind of sequential step style design to sell a specific affiliate program or a product, or, you know, we've got some ideas for some more retail aspects of things. And I always think about software stuff too, John. And I'll like message you and say, hey, what is this software idea possible? And you'll be like, yes, no, maybe so, kind of thing. So I think that there's some synergy for us to be building something together in the future too.
Me too. I'd love to see how we could talk about maybe you building some funnels for me and my partners for my softwares and stuff. What about education though? You got like a formal education in anything other than theater, like a bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate degree?
Yeah. So I have a Bachelor of Science in theater. So I call it's a BS degree. I call it is my BS degree. So I have a BS degree in theater, and
well, really, marketing's kind of like a fucking theater, right? And selling something is kind of like a theater, at least if you can go through the theatrical process of, I don't know, because I'm not a marketer, but from watching other marketers, according to the shit that they write on their little whiteboards with their cameras over top, that if you tell a story and if you can get people to go on this emotional roller coaster, and once they're out of that emotional roller coaster, they're liking you, then you can pretty much just be like, and by the way, here's a way you can give me some money. And then they're just like, well, I feel so great after feeling so bad, and yes, I'll give you some. So it's kind of like a theater, right? Like, do you look at marketing as a theater?
I see it as an experience. And when people just throw up a sales page and then start sending traffic to it, where's the experience? Because I think everyone who buys anything ever, who has ever bought a single thing of their own free will, is buying an experience. What do you think that you're getting when you purchase a Disneyland ticket versus a car versus a hamburger? Each one of these are products in virtually categorically different niches and perspectives, but every single one of them is an experience. So when people come out with a funnel or they come out with a product and they're not selling, well, first of all, their offer might suck. That could be part of it. But most of that is that they aren't delivering an experience. They aren't telling, you know, we all got like these hook story offer type stuff and all these like formulas that are supposed to help us to sell more stuff. But what are you delivering to people that makes them want to get out or get up? To get out of a situation, get to escape pain, or to ascend up to a higher level of themselves. What does this car do for you? What does this hamburger do for you? And what does Disneyland do for you? Every one of them gives you a different experience. So food, I get to taste this thing and I have this. And if you have a bad experience, you never go back to that place again. If you go to Disneyland and you have a bad experience, you're going to share that with all your friends. That's why Disneyland does not give you a bad experience, because they need you to promote that ongoing. If you buy a car in each one of these subcategories, you buy a car, your status is elevated. You have an experience of sitting in the car. You can imagine yourself. It's theater of the mind. If you guys have read Psycho-Cybernetics, the theater of the mind stuff about like putting yourself in the shoes of a better version of yourself is really interesting. So I think a lot of marketing is as much of an experience as it is a performance, you know, and I don't know about you, but I love going to shows too, like when Broadway shows and stuff come into town, and digesting like why from the point you walk into the door, what is the experience throughout? And you'll be able to kind of find your own improvements throughout. So like at the front door, if I have a bad experience, it's going to set the tone for everything. It's the same thing with your opt-in page or whatever. If you have a crappy opt-in page, that's the bad experience that's going to set people off for the rest of the time. If you have an income claim, for example, an income claim on your opt-in page, you're going to be setting the stage for a particular type of person that's searching for that message. They want, if it's the income claim, believe it or not, that it's not really rich people that are looking for income claims, right? You're going to find a lower, maybe quality prospect or a lower tier, lower ticket prospect with those types of claims versus perhaps lifestyle or systems and operations, just the verbiage that you create throughout your funnel and how it all kind of wraps together. So I hope that makes sense, that, yeah, a funnel, any kind of marketing, I know you're not a marketer, so you wouldn't know anything about this, but.
I would not, but it does make sense if you're like, hey, here's how you can go from zero to, you know, $5,000 or $3,000 a month by doing this simple thing that you're going to essentially attract an audience that doesn't necessarily have $3,000 a month and is somewhere around zero, and they don't have much, and they're looking to try to get something. And if you're telling them you don't have to do any work, it's so easy, you're going to get the person who doesn't want to do any work and they just want something easy, and they don't at the end of the day have any money, because that's the experience that you're painting to them, right?
Yeah, versus like if you said, hey, here's how you can make $3,000 a day, someone who's like already making $5K, $10K per month, they don't care about that. They're like, their next level is $20K, $50K, $100K.
For sure.
You know, they don't care. So anyway, yeah, that's the perspective.
So did you work in the professional world somewhere?
Sorry, did I interrupt, Shane? I'm sorry, dude.
Well, I wanted to ask a question while we're kind of on that topic, right? So from my perspective, right, I've always been in I'm a programmer by trade, so I'm more of a logical thinker than I am more of a sales thinker. So when it came down to it, I always struggled with that one point, right? And what I've actually realized about myself is I've never been able to sell something, for one, I didn't believe in. For two, that's a good integrity aspect. But for two, there's never been something I could sell that I didn't actually have a audience that didn't relate to me, or again, my story, or, you know, the way I come about myself, right? So being 100% tried and true to myself seems to be the best ticket to going through that. And that seems to line up with the whole process that you're talking about is, you know, I think you get a better sense of fulfillment as well as you know, going through that, because you're kind of building a better tribe, if that makes sense. You know what is that kind of lining up with what you're saying? Because that's the experience that I'm actually getting.
Yeah, and I know we're going to talk about this. I'd actually like to rip the SAM funnel apart more than build it up and give it any level of credibility, because actually what it did get to explode a little bit of my audience, and we have the core and all that kind of stuff, and that's all great. But in large part, there was a particular audience that came that was pretty not fun to deal with, and it attracted. There's some amazing people that came through the woodwork. In fact, some really high level clients. In fact, some incredible like ballers, like multimillionaires have been in touch about like, how do I get into affiliate marketing? Believe it or not, there are multimillionaires who want to get into affiliate marketing, and they're looking for someone to help them. By the way, it exists. But yeah, the SAM funnel, based on, this story that you put out, I realized maybe that's partially why I was so happy that it got shut down and was put away. It was just because it was an excuse enough to just, although it definitely had its own negative impacts and that kind of thing. When it got shut down, it was like, okay, good. Now I can just reset and focus on a higher caliber client. I mean, again, there's some amazing people, some dear friends that have come out of that, and because they're legitimate people and they're like, hey, we really care about people and the results, but it tends to attract a particular crowd that I just don't really want to associate with all that much. It's a lot of the kind of quick buck type of people, and then they bleed you dry. You know, they'll pay you. I launched my core membership, and then people are just like taking advantage of it and really making it kind of a nasty place. So anyway, there's always going to be those people. You just got to balance it out.
So did you work someplace professionally? Like have a physical 9-to-5 job, or because now you just work for yourself, right? Like it's free to say that you're your own boss, you own your own time and what you do and when you do it. So how long has it been like that? And what do you do? Like what types of jobs did you have before that?
So in my professional working life, I was a ShamWow salesman. I've been a paper boy. I worked at a TV station.
You were like really a ShamWow? So
the whole mic and the.
How did you do that? Was that like door to door, or like was that like in a circus or something?
It was like a circus. It was in an outdoor mall, in an outdoor mall in Missouri, actually. And I had 4 hours to sell as many as possible. So that was that, but it was the same pitch every 4 minutes and just like 3 or 4 sales at a time. And that was my first commission. It taught me sales. So that was like really
per ShamWow, like because it's a rag, right? There's like magically clean stuff or absorb water or some shit like that. And you're getting a rag or package of them?
It was $6 commission on a $20 product. And it was like the whole wait now, you'll get like double the order kind of thing. It was the whole spiel. But I had a certain amount of seconds. I had it dialed down to about the second. where I had to create how much cash flow could I create, or how many sales could I get per pitch, and then how many pitches do I need to do to create that. So, and it wasn't much, and like one day, a good day could be like $100 an hour or something in commission for that point. And I was like early 20s, whatever. But that taught me sales, right? I'm 31 now.
31. Okay, so
and then since then, I actually got brought into a couple systems that were like some network marketing stuff, and helped to build those systems, and a lot of video production for that. And so that's where I learned how to create VSLs. And I had no idea what marketing was all about. I didn't know anything about it. I just got hired as like a video producer and started making these sales videos. And then they just started converting again and again and again. They were crushing all the previous records, because I came at it from a different perspective. I didn't come at it from a position of sales. I came at it from that position of experience, of giving an experience, about putting on a show in a video. And then it turned out that those videos beat every previous. So now every new video that I create tends to beat a lot of records. So that's hopefully, I don't mean to like brag by that thing, but that's like the one thing on the planet I'm good at, is I can probably create the highest converting videos of most people, I would say. I don't know anyone else who can make higher producing videos than I can, especially for cold traffic.
So could I ask a question real quick? Like when you're making video, like when you're going through and like making videos, right? Like some things I found, like I'm more like John, I'm like straight off the cuff, right? I'm going to go straight in, because I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that particular, industry, whatever. So do you find it better to really, when you're making a video that needs to be on a sales page, to take that extra little bit of detail and really like lay it out to give that solid experience, or just straight off the cuff, right? Or maybe a mix of the two? I mean, what do you find is the best experience when you're doing stuff like that?
Yeah. So kind of and I hope I'm going to answer the question. If I don't, then just tell me. Kind of the format that I like to follow for almost any video is, I love this phrase. It goes that a prescription without a diagnosis is malpractice. So if a person doesn't diagnose the need, if you don't diagnose a need for this product in their life, it's what I call the gap of opportunity. That if you stand between where they are and where they want to be, then you identify as the only solution, then they cannot help but purchase that product. It's impossible for them to not buy that product, because they see themselves here, unless there's a price objection, in which case, by the way, price is never an objection. Price is an excuse. Price is a delay. So there's never a point in time that someone can't afford things. If I were to say, hey, I'm going to give you $100,000, it's going to cost you 10K, and you're broke, you're going to go find 10K. You're going to find you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. If I give you a Bentley and I say it's going to be 50 grand, you're going to do anything in your power to find 50 grand. People can get resourceful for the things they truly want. So it's just whether or not they have the desire or not. So in terms of like the actual marketing message, what we found is that the simpler, the better. Like, people have to believe that they have a problem that they want fixed, and this is it. So often I start off my videos in like VSLs with a lot of, you'll see it's anyway, some of the stuff has like income or lifestyle B-roll and that type of a thing. It kind of just like a hook. But we make it really poppy and exciting and get them thinking about the better version of themselves. And sorry about that. And then once we have a diagnosis, if they don't diagnose themselves as needing it, then they will have clicked away. So I kind of like to have longer format videos. Some people think like, hey, you need to come out and in 2 minutes, you need to talk about your product enough until people buy it. And maybe that's fine for retargeting, maybe. But I like to go for like the longer format where it's, if you're really interested, you're going to watch the whole video. And then by the end, there's going to be the reason for you to purchase.
Let's say that I think you're giving a lot of good information. I think what you're asking, Shane, is how much preparation do you do? So let's say, for example, that video for the SAM funnel. You had a script for that video, right? You wrote down a script for that video. How much
Correct.
time did you spend preparing how much time did you spend until you got the final thing that was actually on that funnel? I think is what Shane's asking. Like, how much do you actually invest in saying, hey, I want to prepare for this. I need to get this ready. I need to rehearse. I need to make iteration after iteration, versus saying, okay, fuck it. Because that's what I do. Like, if you look at all my funnels, you can tell on any video that I've done, I was just like, fuck it. Here's a video. And then I made it. And then I was like, okay, that's done, because I don't really want to put that much more thought into it.
Yeah, you've got to, and honestly, like we've done a lot of A/B split testing, and we've done really expensive productions with like beautiful drone videos and all that kind of stuff. People think they need that to sell a product. That almost is 100% of the time. I've never seen it not be outperformed by the most simple, static text, like PowerPoint style, like what the Sam funnel is doing. It's called a VSL. The VSL with text on it, black text with red pop letters on a white background, has never not outperformed a really, really produced expensive video ever. It always wins, especially for like cold traffic, for CPA style offers. Depends on what you're selling. If you've got like a really high level, actually, I don't think that there's a single product that wouldn't be. If you're trying to sell a car, for example, maybe a VSL wouldn't be the best because you want to show the car, you want to show that type of a thing. But dude, even for software, if it was, any one of your, like domain leads or something would be a perfect example of where a VSL can help you to diagnose whether or not I need this software in my life. And I think it would probably outperform almost any video. But I think the point that you're making is that done is better than waiting for perfection. And that's 100% true.
But you really do go for perfection, right? Is where you go for because you spend time rehearsing, right? I'm sure, like, I don't know, but I would just imagine, just based on my unfortunate, racial stereotypical profile I've already made of you. I would assume that you probably rehearse, like you sit in front of your microphone and you listen to your voice a couple times, and you actually are conscious of your tone and how you're making a tone as you're saying certain things, and you're aware of that. And if you didn't get it right, you're like, I would assume that the audio for your videos are in multiple segments because you recorded one and you like that, and then you recorded, like, you listened to your little voice here and you didn't like it, so you're like, okay, I'll re-record it. Is that a correct assumption, or am I just bullshit?
When I started, yeah, I would really shoot for that while I was finding my voice. But now I've done it for so long that it's like I write in my voice, so when I read it, I'm just getting like I get in that same flow, and I can usually do it in one shot. Sometimes when you read it out, and I recommend to everyone, if you're ever writing a script, you should rehearse it. You should read it out loud multiple times. You'll find the stumbling blocks of what is working and what isn't working, and then you might edit on the fly. So sometimes I'll just bullet point things and then read it out and then go for it. Depends how fast I need to produce the video. But if it's
you are scripting it out though.
Like the Sam funnel was word for word for the entire first video. So like literally word for word, because I have to annotate. I had to add the text to the screen itself, right? So you have to have that text. It makes more sense to type out every single word, and then you copy and paste that into your video, right? To have it annotated. Plus all my B-roll shots, and I architected that. So that's probably the better word than like rehearsing, is I architected that for a very specific purpose and kind of flow and energy and that kind of thing, as I do with all funnels. Yeah.
That was kind of what you're asking, right, Shane? Is like, how prepared is he and how much effort he puts into it?
Right. Yeah, because I've tried that before. I've tried to go down and do segments and then come back and like edit it out. Like you have that, like a great video, and then all of a sudden, like, you just have that one thing that you're like, nah, just doesn't fit, and paste it out. But to me, I mean, it's just always been better just to go straight off the cuff. And I haven't had that like great explosion that but again, that may be because the audience that I currently have is because of that demeanor, but going through like just making a YouTube channel, I don't just do that whole flashy B-roll stuff, obviously, just because honestly, that's not me. And I think to that, I think you made a valid point earlier. You might be attracting the wrong person when you go for X amount of dollars per this, whatever the case may be. You might be trying to get the wrong person into your ecosystem. And in me, I want to have people that have the effort, that want to achieve stuff, that I can say, look, we went from A to Z and we actually achieved your goal. And, that's the purpose of what in the type of business that I'm doing. Right. But again, I want to have a better voice at actually getting that out there. So is it, in what you're saying is actually, a very, very, very much valuable to helping me at least get better at it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it depends on, here's the thing to keep in mind is, like, if you're ever showing your face on video, or human interaction, it throws objections. There's enough, like if I'm on sales calls or any of those types of things, I never have video. I can never do a Zoom call with anything where you're looking for a conversion, because there's so much nonverbal communication that happens. So if it's just your voice, I'd encourage everyone here, if you're ever trying to make a sales video, literally just put on just your voice and like B-roll or slides showing exactly what you're saying or whatever. And you're going to find that your conversions increase significantly, because people aren't deciphering they're not reading into your body language. Like right now, people are reading into my body language, but if this was a podcast, they would just be listening to the concept. They'd be digesting the information instead of looking for, like, is he nervous? Is he confident? Is he sarcastic? Is he being mad? Those types of things. So probably one of the biggest, and to give you additional confidence, just literally record audio and add some very basic text-based images along with it. And Easy VSL makes that obviously pretty easy. So again, I don't know what types of videos you're making, but hopefully that helps.
That'd definitely help me out. Like I said, I just need to make a good solid landing page and have that, that actual energy transfer. And to your point, there's a lot of stuff that we give off when we talk, through a camera or whatever, that may not be, exactly what you're trying to, give out, because again, we are talking to cameras. That is what it is. Right. So it is often, your body language could be misconstrued, or somebody could be in a bad mood when they're watching it or whatever. So it's easy just to watch something and kind of voice over it. I found that is perfect. But again, I've always been told too, and I learned from several different people on how to do this, but kind of get your face on there first and kind of let people know you and get people to interact with you. I think John's done a great job with that. But again, that goes back to your audience as far as that goes too. Sadly though, this will have to be my last question because I'm going to have to go. I have a doctor's appointment, and I really, like, this is the timing of this. I really hate to back this off. But again, I wanted to definitely get that sense of clarity. And like I said, I'm very much interested in the VSL system you have and stuff like that. So I'm going to check it out as soon as I get back, because again, that's very interesting. And again, to your point, even though you have that theological background and you go through that, you got to have that sense of what works, what doesn't. Like you said, a strong statement when you said red text and black lettering in a certain demeanor would work better than whatever. Because a lot of us, to me, I might have a thing that says, red might seem like a bad landing page, but again, that if it works, what works, right? And you did the split testing behind it, right?
Yeah. So like literally, if anyone is on here right now and you're like, I just want to know exactly what is going to just freaking convert something, have a white or light gray background, have a very thin single column page, thin. So if you're in ClickFunnels, it would be, I think, medium, not like wide or extra wide, right? Just medium. Okay. You have a single headline that is in bold black text, right? With just a simple border around it, a video that has a white background with no play bar, no volume controls, none of that stuff. If you're in Vimeo, then just turn off player controls. So no distractions. Have a video that's just a VSL, a white background, black text with red pop colors or like underlines and bolds and italics for like specific areas that need to be bolded up. Go to Artlist or go to any other music place and add some cinematic music behind you. Make sure it's far enough back so that people can understand what you're saying. And then right below that, have a single call to action button that tells them what to do. And the whole time in the video, you don't care. It's not about what you like. It's not about what you care about. What do they care about? What do they ultimately want? It's usually always money, relationships, or physical fitness, relationships with themselves or with others. So if you can solve one of these buckets, it's about weight loss, it's about self-esteem or relationships, those types of things with themselves, emotional issues, or better finances, then you just speak to that. You start talking about things that you've been through, things that other people go through, and then you can explain the pain, they relate to that, and then you give them the solution. Hey, if you're interested, there's the button. So that simple page, headline, video, call to action, either it's an opt-in or a purchase button or whatever like that, and then your footer stuff all below that. That's probably going to be your highest converting page, even if you were to fully flesh out a huge funnel and make it. Like right now, like we have the one funnel away challenge, it would be converting like hotcakes if their page was actually optimized for sales. And it's, unfortunately, it's not. It's meant, their sales page is meant to indoctrinate everyone. It gives all their information, and it's beautiful and super well architected and thought out and stuff. All we need is a checkout link, man. Like if I could build a bridge to a checkout link, and it's just a page with just, that's it. It's a form. It's a checkout form that's going to convert, you know, way more often, because it's not about, the more information you put out into the market, the more objections you're throwing. You're not overcoming objections. You're creating objections, because you're giving them reason to think, well, maybe if that's not me, if I don't fit into that bucket, then this isn't going to work for me at all. Right. So we always want to talk about what, not how. Like, what is the problem, not how do we solve it? We just talk about, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, at a very high level, the simpler the page, the better. Make it white or gray backgrounds, very simple videos, headlines, and a button, and you'll sell stuff. I mean,
why do you think ClickFunnels has made their funnel so complex and so full of information?
It's $100 purchase, so it requires obviously. So it's not like the you know, in previous funnels we just promote a free ClickFunnels trial, right? That's a very low barrier of entry. You got to go. Yeah. Thanks, Shane.
All right. Thank you. And again, nice meeting you. And thank you very much for the information. Don't mean to stop you again, but I had one prior appointment I had to go to. Timing is everything again, right? Sorry. Y'all good. Thank you again. And talk to you soon. All right.
Later. So yeah, the barrier of entry is a lot higher at $100, obviously. So like they need more information. They need to explain, because there's a kit that comes with it. There's the coaching that comes with it. It's an education product. There's also the digital and the physical versions. So yeah, it has to be a lot more information, I think, for them to, and I'm sure they've optimized and tested the heck out of that thing, to make sure that converts. But if you're trying to build a bridge page into it, it's really tough to convert cold traffic to a really built out, beautiful funnel, because it's a different feel, right? It's a different, so they go from being educated here to like this huge page that they have to go through again and that kind of thing.
And then they also go from that very simple type concept that you talked about, and they transition into, it looks completely different. It doesn't feel exactly where they came from. So now their mindset has completely shifted, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious about the core, and I want to talk a little bit about that, and then the other types of the other types of offers and stuff that you have for people to give you money, for two different reasons. Kind of, one, because, you know, people could want to just give you money because you're such a likable guy, and two, because
they don't do
I don't know if you noticed, but that was that guy that was just here is Shane, and to some extent, you know, I like to be transparent with my audience and just kind of not bullshit them. But to some extent, that guy Shane and other people are paying me to interview you. And from this process of interviewing you, I'm actually going to get other people who are even going to give me even more money for other stuff, including interviewing other people, or even actually listening to this interview. So I think for everybody involved, that I think not just knowing, okay, what can we give you money for? And, you know, we already know why we should kind of do that. But what are other things we could give you money for? I think not only maybe people want to give you that money, but also maybe people can get ideas of, you know, like, what else could I be doing? Because I think so many people are so stuck on far as like how to make money. Like, it is actually so hard. And it's not super, I don't want to say it's hard to make money online, because it's not, but you have to be consistent. It's fucking work. It's not hard work, but it is work. It's pretty simple stuff that you have to do. But before asking you about the core and all the other ways we can give you money, I was curious, like, because you mentioned it before, and it kind of alluded, like, it kind of seemed, and I if you don't want to talk about this, it's fine, but it kind of seemed somewhat, you know, we're kind of in a similar position. Like, I created my first partnership, and you know, I did the all from Facebook. I funded it all from Facebook, and now that I look at it, like that first version of my partnership, to some extent, I kind of have some animosity for those people, because it's not really what I wanted, and it's not what I was hoping for. And it seems like to some extent you said that you're kind of experiencing that somewhat in the core, that, you know, there was some kind of some asshole people or some bad people in there. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Like what, like you don't have to name their names and be like, you know, Harlan, it's you, motherfucker. I hate you, Harlan. But just kidding, Harlan. But like, what are those things that you're talking about that you're kind of unhappy with there?
Well, I dug my own grave. Like I don't know. I really want to like stay just in life as positive as I can about like just the good things that have come from the whole thing. And overwhelmingly things are very, very positive and very cool to see so many marketers come out of the woodwork. The only downside, which everyone's going to have to handle, is that there's just always a particular audience that's going to come out and take advantage of you. That's always going to be the case. What people don't understand about the SAM funnel is that, except for the fact that I added the core, right, so that people could get more funnels and get more tools, and if they've never started, it's a great place to start. If it wasn't for that, I wasn't making like anything from that. People don't understand that. They think I became a millionaire. It was a share funnel. It meant that I didn't get anything from that, right? In fact, I had the biggest loss of probably everybody because of, you know, a lot of different reasons. And it's also why I'm glad that it's gone, is that it just, we could move on to new things. So the only negative aspect is that, you know, people just like demanding the world. They pay pennies and demand the world. That's just what happens when you have like low price products, you know, and the support requests that come out and those.
That's what happens when you have customers who don't. And see, you know, that's what I really realize. When you have people, when you're dealing with people who don't actually have a lot of money, what ends up happening is they put over expectations on what you're giving them. As opposed to if you go to somebody like me, Jordan, if you charge me, like, you know why I don't care about the core? Like, not that I don't care about it, why I'm not disappointed or I'm not unhappy with it. Because it's $97. I mean, to me, that's no fucking money whatsoever. It's like, I don't have a lot of expectation for $97 a month because because I make 50 a month just from fucking around on Facebook. So is that your only, like, you think that's the only thing you're unhappy with about it, is that some people are, is it just that some people are kind of like, you know, hey, we need the SAM funnel. Where's the SAM funnel? We were promised a SAM funnel. When's the next SAM funnel coming? You know, this is stupid because we don't have a SAM funnel and we got to focus on other stuff. And, you know, there's not a get rich quick button. Because that's, to some extent, that's kind of what the SAM funnel was selling, right? To some extent was the simple affiliate machine. Plug in your links and you can have a viral effect of.
Yeah. And I like, you know, I can't speak for ClickFunnels or any of that type of stuff, and I won't, and I don't claim any. In fact, I've mentioned I'm glad it's gone. They're glad it's gone, all that kind of stuff. We were in touch for a long time. We were in touch talking pretty often for a lot. Like, I think some people thought that like it came out and then ClickFunnels said, no, shut it down. That was not the case. It was eventually shut down. It was reviewed and said that it was not going to, but I was like begging. I was like, how can we make it even better? And that was my desire. I wanted to make it better and more compliant. And I changed the video 4 or 5 times across the whole network to make sure I had the disclaimers and all that kind of stuff in there. If I could start over, I definitely would not have done it like it was, for sure. I could have added so much more value and made it even better and all that. And, you know, it changed the entire, I think, affiliate zone. And I think maybe it was part of a tripwire effect in terms of changing compliance as a whole. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad that we can all improve and be better. But yeah, in terms of unhappiness, I think people just need to get real. They just need to get real. Like, we're 100% of my results were 100% real. Like, all the stuff that I put in there was real. It was all verifiable and backed up and legitimate. And I had created, you know, I had some really great results from that as well. And I continue to support it. I see people commenting in here about, like, it was the first time that they had their own belief about going out to promote things. And now they've gone on to actually become a legit marketer. It made people believe in themselves again. And that was, I think, a really great benefit. So because of those reasons, I don't, you know, the good has outweighed the bad. And actually I can see some cool people who are on here live right now that I've got to even connect to. And I mean, it's amazing how the marketing world is overwhelmingly positive and everyone wants to support each other, and we've all got cool products and we can all teach each other things and we can all help make each other successful. But yeah, you learn lessons through everything. And my lesson is go for maybe the highest standards that you can, you know, keep your standards really, really high.
I agree. I agree for sure that the world should get real. The people should get real for sure. I think a lot of people have some really crazy expectations in this world as far as what could happen, what will happen, the amount of work that's required to it, what their rights are, you know, like what their rights are, what their responsibilities are. So I would love it if the whole fucking world could just, you know, fucking either get real or, you know, take my flu shot and let me just, you know, reprogram their brain and they could be my robots. So one of the two, either one, I would prefer the second, but the first one's also fine. So tell me more about the core and kind of like about that offer and what's involved in that offer and, you know, what somebody gets for that and why they would want that and where the core essentially falls into your value stack and into your ladder of ways that people can give you money.
Yeah, so the core is a monthly program. It is not intended for anyone to join for 1 month and then leave. It is meant for a long-term haul. And so it's $97 a month. And it also has an affiliate program. If people want to promote that, they can make 40% to help reward them for sharing kind of the story. But the core is
to be a core member to promote as an affiliate.
Currently, because it's in beta, it's more like a refer a friend program. Anyone can promote it. If they have a list and they want to reach out, we can get them as an affiliate, but I just don't want to manage hundreds of affiliates that aren't actually promoting it. So right now it's relegated to people who are in the core, and people are getting results from it, which is pretty cool. But eventually it'll launch into like public where anyone could, but you know, so anyone, it's free to promote. If someone wants to reach out and they can do that. Otherwise, it is meant for people who understand the value and can go share that with people. So it's more like a refer a friend at this point. But it's my goal for it is to help people believe in themselves to get success with marketing. So what I release every month is either a new income stream, a new funnel that promotes a product, or tools or trainings or whatever. But I put everything that I'm coming up with into this area that has like pretty much ready-made funnels. And it's just these very simple funnels that we've been talking about here. It's nothing super extravagant and like huge, like long sales pages. It's just meant to convert even with cold traffic, which means that it should often also convert with warm traffic. Right now we have one for the One Funnel Away Challenge. And so what I did is I've got a license to give away free vacations for people so they can go promote the OFA and give away a vacation to their people, and you get to use my license to do that. You can give up, and that just comes with the core membership. There's also an entire course in there. There's a complete like marketing course that teaches you everything you need to know, and all the core members get to import that course into their own account and white label it to themselves. So you get credit for having created this course, even though you didn't create the course. You get the benefit, and you know, you're saving hundreds of hours of time. And then, yeah, the stuff coming up here, I did some testing with a legendary marketer and made probably $3,500 in like 2 weeks or something testing that. So I'll be releasing a funnel and have been connected with Dave Sharp, who founded Legendary Marketer, and he's awesome. So we're going to be opening up a proprietary funnel specifically for Legendary Marketer that the core members, you literally plug it into your ClickFunnels account, adjust your terms and conditions and stuff, split test, change headlines if you want, but everything is pretty much done for you in like a template where you swap out your affiliate link and then you just cover traffic, either cold or warm traffic. And then it's, it's pretty much, it's meant to be a kicking off point for people. Some people take it as like, okay, I'm going to plug it in and then just launch, but it's really meant to help you to learn, like, how do we architect funnels? How do you get things going, add stuff to it, make it your own, make it unique. And people can always do better with a starting point. So every month we add something brand new in there to make digital marketing or affiliate marketing really, really easy.
It's almost like done for you affiliate marketing, right? Like people who want to, like, because you just released the one funnel away funnel, right? Which is just basically a funnel that somebody can go in and they can either just use it out of the box with an email sequence, or they can make their own modifications. And what it does is collect opt-ins and then route and basically pre-frame and pre-sell people to go sign up for the one funnel away challenge and then sign up for ClickFunnels and stuff. So it's almost like done for you affiliate marketing, right?
Yeah, it is. And so what I found was that, like a lot of affiliate funnels, you get like an affiliate link to go promote their funnel, right? And that's great. That's how affiliate marketing works. But I realized that there's a little hole in the marketplace where I could be releasing funnels kind of in like a template, but it's not a template because it's done. It's literally done for you. You hit the share code up. I hope people update it and change it and make it their own and that kind of a thing, and make it compliant to you and your name and that kind of thing. But then you launch it out. It's your funnel. In fact, you could technically use that funnel to go promote anything. But the videos are embedded and ready to go. The headlines are already often split tested, and it's copywritten for you. Just doing the videos alone takes dozens, sometimes hundreds of hours to create. And so that's completely done for you.
So am I able to take those funnels and that you give me and give them to other people and be like, hey, here's a done for you funnel that you can use?
That is not part of the license.
What stops me from doing that? Just
ethics.
Ethics. So if I don't have any of those, if I have zero of those, because I know they're man-made and fabricated, it's just so. But I shouldn't do that. Like if you knew I were doing it, you'd be like, fuck you, I'm not. Or not fuck you, but hey, I'm not taking your money and I'm not going to keep giving you these done for you funnels because you're giving them to everybody else.
I try to be reasonable with everyone. And I think that that's a fair thing, that if I bought something from you and I stole it and started selling it or giving it away for free, then,
Have you thought about like an upgrade where you do let people have that right? And you're like, okay, hey, you just like, instead of paying 97, you pay me 297 and then you can redistribute those. Cause like, if you said you had that right now, I'd pay you 297. If you were like, John, no problem, I won't get mad. You can just, give these out. Cause then I would just give them to my partners as well. And literally, honestly, I would just be like, hey, you don't need to join the core. Why? Because everything that he offers for that, I just can give you myself. So just pay me 97.
I had never thought of that. Actually, that's a really brilliant idea.
So you might do that. Cause like I said, I'd be your first beta user if you want to, I would be your first beta user for that. Sure. Because it's always about increasing value. Sometimes if somebody's ready to pay you the $97 a month, and I know there's, 20 people who are going to come pay you, and I could just grab them and they could pay me instead. And it's only going to cost me $297 a month to get that stream of $2,000. That's just basic math. That's just like, okay, why not? I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, my goal was that people, I hope that people would feel the benefit of jumping into the core, and then you can get that affiliate commission. But yeah, I hadn't thought of like an upsell, into that. My primary program and product is not really the core. The core is not like my full-time anything. That's just where I want to provide value to my group and help them to grow. But primarily what I do is I help people to build like higher ticket programs, higher ticket coaching and consulting programs, and also some done for you aspects and stuff. But yeah, that's actually a good idea. You should become a marketer.
I would hate that. That would be all right, but I wouldn't, I don't have a problem with marketing. It's just not my passion. You know what I mean? My passion is technology, because ultimately, at the end of the day, unfortunately, with my honesty, I just think people are relatively stupid. Like humanity as an aggregate, if I look at if I average out the average human, they're pretty dumb as far as what's really happening in reality and, the miracle of their own conscious state. And they're pretty low ambition. Like, you think about it. And I think the SAM funnel is a great fucking proof of that. You think about it. What's the average person want? The highest conversion rates that you can get? Give me more money, do less work, so you can do what? Absolutely nothing. Drive a fancy car, roll some dice at a casino. And I really believe to some extent that that's the average state of humanity, and that we're destined for so much more. At least we have the potential for so much more, that, we could fucking solve the problem of eternal life if we really wanted to and stuff our heads together. But, we're not really doing that. But with the course, so I get funnels, I get emails as well. Like, I get pre-made for me email content.
Every funnel comes with your entire email. Well, it gives you an email swipe sequence up to 7 days. You don't have to use it. You can write your own, but some
Sure.
people don't want to write.
As a base, right? You can for sure
Yeah.
use it as a base to be like, okay, what's he doing? How is he saying? How do I say this in my own language to my own audience?
Yeah, you literally get like everything completely done. In fact, the more I see that Mario's on here, he's always like, this should be more expensive. And actually, you just bumped up to $297. I think I need to bump up to $297. Actually, that's the goal, is to get up to $297. I just want to make sure that people are still getting the value and that it's, validated and substantiated, and that I can sustain it, that I can keep building. It takes forever to build these things. It's really time intensive. I mean, imagine going out to try to build these from scratch. It's insanity. It's really time intensive. So, but yeah, I'd like to boost that up and continue to build the value in there. But yeah, emails, videos, headlines, funnels, the templates. You connect your autoresponder and plug in your own stuff, and you're done.
What about chatbots? Is there any type of chatbot stuff included in there in case I'm collecting that?
I'm not that good of a marketer either. So I have not done much in terms of chatbots, but I have heard that people have skyrocketed their opt-ins by adding.
I'd love to help you with that, Jordan. If you do the content, like you obviously can do the content and the message. I mean, once you have the content, it's no different than an email sequence, right? It's like you give me the content and then we just go put it in the chatbot, and instead of the content being delivered by email, it just goes to the chatbot. Pretty straightforward.
Right on. Yeah. And I think that's.
So you give the swipes too. You give the graphics like that I use for my posts and stuff. Do you include any of that stuff like Facebook posts? Somebody asked here what your favorite source of traffic was. Cost-effective traffic. What was your favorite source of cost-effective traffic?
Warm traffic is always the winner. Organic traffic is always going to be your winner 100% of the time. For people who have no list, no warm network, no nothing, you're literally completely naked in the wilderness and you have nobody and nothing to use as leverage, then solo ads is also, and I've got a couple vendors that I kind of prefer and recommend, 3 or 4 of those guys that have clean traffic. But they are like BizOp list, right? So they're BizOp seekers, and that would be primarily who would be buying those types of lower ticket offers. But I'm working on kind of moving on the side to where you could literally run Facebook ads. Facebook ads are more expensive. But what I love is video marketing. So I hope that I wish more people would be doing Facebook Lives and Facebook marketing and Facebook, video marketing and that kind of stuff, because it's so valuable. I wish I could do more YouTube, because that is honestly the only social network that makes any sense at all, because you put stuff up on Facebook and it disappears into oblivion, a couple days later. YouTube, things live on forever, and actually grows. It's like wine. It gets better with age, and Facebook's like a dead rabbit. They're probably going to downvote us, by the way, because I just said that, because they're listening to us.
They are listening to us, and there's its ways. I mean, Facebook for sure has its ways to keep content circulating, and where it actually keeps its content. But YouTube's for sure a different dog. YouTube people are for sure going to YouTube just for video content. So a lot of YouTube and the dynamics and the traffic of YouTube are people who are wanting to get information, right? Because they're actively searching for, Facebook, nobody's really coming to Facebook to really actively search how to do this, how to do that, as much as they are on YouTube. YouTube people are literally coming to actively search, okay, how to do this. Like how to make money as an affiliate marketer is a much bigger term in YouTube than it is in Facebook. More people are searching that thing in YouTube. Why? Because they're getting videos. And in Facebook, you're not really going to get that video content, and you're not going to find the type of content that you're wanting on Facebook.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Right on.
So you've got the core, and basically that's done for me affiliate marketing, where I can kind of either use it as done for me, or like a start for me. It saves me 20 hours worth of time, so that I only have to spend 4 hours worth of time getting this thing ready. Or just if I want to be the lazy marketer that unfortunately most of you motherfuckers are, that's why I traded my affiliate platform for a partner platform, because at the end of the day, I think if you really look at affiliate marketing, the ones that are actually out there getting results, they're simply, what do they have that other people don't? They're not lazy fucking people. They're out there actually doing everything. They're, like you probably don't, and I don't want to take away from anything, but you're probably not out there taking somebody else's stuff as a base outside of maybe just a high level model of what somebody's doing, but you're creating all your own content and you're creating all your stuff, and you're not taking any shortcuts, right? You're creating shortcuts for other people. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of affiliates don't want to do that. I don't have any problem with people taking that shortcut, but I think too many people, what they want to do is they don't want to use things as a shortcut. They want to use it as the final solution. Like, okay, I don't have to do anything whatsoever. Like it's a magic button. So
yeah, and I go back and forth. Sometimes I think about even shutting it down, because I feel like for some people it's not empowering them, and just not even creating it for people anymore. And I realize that, like, there's going to be pros and cons to anything. And maybe if the pros of empowering someone to have the bravery and the confidence to go out and actually start marketing for themselves, if it achieves that and it outweighs the cons of disempowering people by doing everything for them, then maybe that's a good thing. I think we'll probably move more towards templated content where you do have to have some input. Like, I'm going to write, insert your headline here, because you can come up with a headline, dude. You can write something out, or split test things. And yeah, so I go back and forth through that stuff a lot. And I mean, I can see that there's, even one guy on here who's commenting who is particularly negative during that phase and
right,
whatnot.
You're talking about Brandon Duff, who you said he brought Mike to the SAM funnel, and how it was.
He made a lot of noise and made things particularly difficult. But again, there's just gonna, like we've talked about, there's gonna be those types of people that even after things are done and over, and like we've been talking about, we're all better off and more people are empowered to become marketers because of it. And I'm glad it's over. Still, people are creating a lot of noise. And so maybe even publicly, if I call that out, then maybe we can start creating a more positive and dynamic environment that, you got a dead horse and you're just continually beating it. I don't know the benefit to that, dude. So
I agree 100% there, Jordan. Like, even let's say you were, even let's say you were a fuck up. Even let's say you did fuck up. Even let's say you did just directly scam people. And for sure, I don't think that, and I can't say no one thinks that, because maybe people do. But even if you were doing that, right? Even if you're still, let's say even you're still doing that, me talking about that and me going around saying, oh, fuck Jordan, he's scamming all these people. How the fuck does that help me? Like, how is that benefiting me? Is that actually helping me get somewhere just by going out and fucking being like, oh, fuck that guy? That's not really helping me. It's only helping me if you're actually influencing my customers, and me doing that is going to get them to come to me. But again, at the end of the day, who am I attracting, right? I am attracting the type of people who are flocking to me because I'm spreading negative energy, which means I'm also attracting a bunch of negative ass motherfuckers that I probably am not going to like working with. And as soon as somebody comes, and no matter what I'm doing, even though I'm shedding light on the truth, as soon as some other fucking Yahoo, some other fucking Duffy Brandon comes out and says, hey, John's a fucking scammer, and I showed everybody that, guess where all my people I just got that came from you are going to go? They're just going to go right over there. So
yeah, and it's like here's the thing, man. Like, it's dead and over. We've got way better stuff out there. I've got a course that would literally take you hundreds, maybe thousands of hours to create, ready to go. I've got funnels that people are actually profiting from. I've got videos and trainings that are probably, so unique and in the marketplace that people are getting insane value from. I'm overwhelming people with value, and we still got these negative pansies in here, just like making the world a worse place. But here's the thing. Are you going to listen to broke people, or are you going to listen to people that are going to be lifting you up, man? So all these like negative Nancys who are going to be like, a couple people, there's like 3 people, and one of them are here, 3 people who are really causing a lot of problems and negativity and on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And like with each one of them, I had conversations and stuff to be like, hey, can we let's have an adult conversation. If you want to be mad, feel free to be mad. Let's be adults about this. Some people continue it on. They keep proliferating the same negativity, and I'm just not going to let it into my life, man. I've got a shield up against that stuff, and I'm surrounding myself around people that are positive. And when people who are in the core, I seriously am like, dude, I'm so beyond wanting to deal with crappy human beings that I am choosing just so almost religiously to surround myself around with cool people who have no scarcity mindset. They have the abundant thinking. They've got opportunity. They believe in themselves. They believe that there's something better for their own lives, that they can get themselves out of their crappy position and become better human beings, better marketers, better everything. That like when people are negative, I'm like, I'm refunding you. You're out of the core. I'm kicking you out of the group. Please do not come back, because I don't want your money. Your money doesn't affect me. It doesn't make my life better. It doesn't make my life worse if I don't have it. I want to surround myself around people who are serious and legit and want to have fun and care about other human beings, and don't come on videos like this who come out and start like bringing up the past about some crap. I'm coming here to like deliver value. Do you think me and John care anything about your opinion? You think we give a crap about your stuff that you're carrying around baggage from like way back when? No, we don't care about you, dude. You're like, we're better people already. We've already moved on. We've already ascended. Like our minds are better. Our wallets are thicker because we've learned from every step of the way. We're making more value. And dude, if we hit a roadblock, we like get shut down. We have stuff happen. Do you think it's the last time I'm going to get shut down? No. Is it the first time? No. I've been shut down 100 times. I've failed 100 times, probably more than that. So guys, everyone who's listening to this, you have a decision to make. You can make your life better, or you can make other people's lives worse, and you make your own life worse at the same time. Make the freaking decision to be a person of value, that you accept your own consequences, that your life isn't going to be about pointing out all these things that other people are doing and like, let's go tell mom on it and make all this. Dude, things are what they are. Nothing's going to be perfect. Can we all like be better? I just think so, John. You've got a monkey. Like, I want a monkey. Why am I not at that level yet? Why can't I? It's because I live in the United States. I can't have a monkey. Justin Bieber got, busted for that. I can't have a monkey. So what do I have to do to level myself up short of having a monkey? Well, I can treat people better. I can build better products. I can provide things that are, of more value than anyone else in the market, and undercharge for it and over deliver for it, and be a person that's of substance, that's of value. Like, isn't that a good thing? Can we vote for that? Can we vote with our dollars for that?
You can also buy a zoo. So you can also buy a zoo as well. So if you
eventually, I'm gonna make a ton of money and buy a zoo, and then I'm gonna hire that guy to pick up the crap.
You can have so many different monkeys, like monkeys, not just monkeys, but fucking apes as well. And apes are fascinating creatures, really. So you got the core offer. How do I get that? That's expertlaunch.co, right? Is where
expertlaunch.co. Yeah, put that. If you don't care, I'll put that in the comments here. Yeah, expertlaunch.co.
I'll put it in the description as well up after we're done. I just don't put stuff like whenever we're live, because I don't know it until then. And then you also said that you offer like more, like also a little bit higher level where it's like one-on-one or coaching or something like that.
Yeah. So, I've got a program called the Expert Accelerator, and working with a pretty succinct group right now. It's a mixture of group, one-on-one coaching, and some digital training that helps them to build their own high-level program. That it helps you to create a program that's worth between $3,000 and $10,000 per client. The point is to either, it's often consulting or it's coaching or those types of things, but extracting your own knowledge, building it into a high ticket program. How do you get appointments? How do you close people into that program and deliver them a great experience? So actually it actually just started not too long ago, and people are already seeing some results from it. So that's pretty cool. It's not for everybody. It's not for any low level of affiliate market like we've been discussing here. Anyone, you have to have something to bring to the table, which is, we're always learning and growing, but you need to have some value to bring. You need to have the desire to impact people and work with clients and that type of thing. But it's a powerful program, and I think people are loving it so far.
So, but is that just it? Is there like a personal one-on-one time there, or is it just kind of like recorded course material?
So there's all three in the Expert Accelerator. There's a digital platform where there's like videos, like long form videos. There's group coaching twice a week with me and some other experts that I'm bringing on. But then it's also the only program that I give one-to-one coaching. So everyone in the program has one-on-one coaching as well. So because there's a lot of individual things you need to address in any type of program. It's like, we need to dive into your program and your Like, how are you going to price this? How are calls going? How is your marketing going? How do we solve the individual things? So that one-on-one coaching aspect.
What's that look like? Is that like static pricing that is just I can go look and view somewhere, or is that kind of like, hey, let's have a chat and see if you're a good fit so I can figure out what to charge you?
Well, yeah, it is a fixed price program for the whole thing. It's about 8 to 10 weeks long. But yeah, it's not for everyone. So it's really, in fact, quite a few people I kind of turned down because they're just not at the right spot. But yeah, if anyone is interested in that, we can have a chat and figure out where you are so that anyone could message me and if they wanted to discuss that option.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down for that myself personally. So that's why I like to kind of know, like, hey, is there static prices or not? A lot of things that I don't think people understand is like, if you, and I like to tell my audience stuff like this whenever I talk to them, because it's like, it seems like things that are so obvious to me, they're just so fucking oblivious to for some reason. I don't know why, because it's just like common knowledge. But like programs like this, regardless of whether you need them or not, it's a great way for you yourself to make money. Because like, Jordan, if I pay you for your time, like let's say I want to partner with you and I was like, hey, look, I can leverage Jordan's audience, and through his audience, I can make this much more money, right? What's the best way to get you to fucking listen to me? I just fucking pay you. Like, okay, you got this. Okay, you got one-on-one coaching? Fuck it. Let me buy that. Okay, we got an hour. Guess what we're talking about, buddy? How can we partner? And like, people don't understand that, hey, like
don't skip over this, because this is important. Keep going on this, because this is critical. This is important.
If I do it, like I'm in so many groups, like honestly, I'm in so many groups that I pay for that honestly, I'm not going to say that I don't need what they provide, but honestly, I don't use what they provide. I don't even have any time to consume. Like, I'm not going to lie. I have no time to really consume what you do with the core. I don't do affiliate marketing, but what does it grant me access to? Well, one, it grants me access to you. And you're construed as like everybody in ClickFunnels knows who the fuck you are. It grants me instant, like, dude, you got to talk to me because fucking I pay you money. And if I'm like, look, if I know right now, and I did it before, right? And I did it before. I was like, Jordan, how do I cancel this membership? Instantly, you got to talk to me, right? I have your ear now. You're like, okay, well, why are you wanting to do that? So instantly, I get your audience as well. I have a certain leniency in your audience. And now if I get into a group coaching, and if I get into a one-on-one scenario, in that group coaching, I leverage everybody else in your group who's pre-qualified for me, because I already know how much disposable income that they have. And I can gauge, hey, can I provide more value than this guy for the same amount of money? So I can easily go in and get my pre-qualified, customers from right there. And then, like I said, if I want to partner with you, then, you're forced to give me your time because you're selling it to me. So no matter what I want to talk about, that's my time. I can be like, hey, look, and I do actually have an ideal how you could actually make some money together, and we could easily, increase that price of your core to $297, include my partnership, and both kind of benefit from that.
Yeah. And actually and here's the thing, this comes off to the people who are on this, right? We got 21 people live. I mean, it's amazing that you can get this kind of, we've been over here. By the way, you're the only person, I get a lot of podcast requests and all that kind of stuff, and I tend to say no to all those things. There's something about you I just want to say yes to, because it's fun. Actually, I love the monkey. I want to hang out with the monkey and whatever.
I don't even know these people that are watching, by the way. They just I deleted everybody from my Facebook account and was like, fuck it, I just add them with software. Like, software just adds people, and I'm just like, yeah. Hey guys, buy my stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, I mean, and this sounds like a ploy to like sell people, and that's not the point, because I do not take, my goal is to serve. I don't sell people anything if it's not actually going to benefit them and get them an ROI, period. So if I take your money, you're headed for an ROI. That's the point. But like, I've invested 21 grand in the first quarter of this year alone. So we're obviously in the third quarter now, but in the first quarter of this year, I've spent 21 grand on coaching because I wanted their ear. I wanted, like, when I want to ask a question, I want it answered like that. And so that's what happens with the people who I work with. They literally shoot me a Facebook message and I answer it like that. And you're not waiting around. I mean, it's not all the time, we have to be realistic, but that's the group that, like, if they call me, I'm going to answer. And you're literally buying somebody's attention. And that's what I have. That's why I buy other people's stuff, is I want to know, what do they know that I don't know? What can I leverage? And, how can I get access to them anytime that there's a problem? You buy that right, is what you do. You can't earn it by like, ooh, I hope they like me and I hope that I can, whatever. No, you just buy it. Buy into a mastermind, buy into coaching. You're going to think about the long-term span. Like, if I charge someone 20 grand or whatever for X amount of coaching, and they like over the lifespan of my advice to them or my help with them, they make 200,000, 2 million, whatever. Was that a good investment? Well, of course it was. People just think too temporarily. They think permanent. Think about like the lifespan. That's what I do. And does it suck writing was it hard for me to write a $20,000 check? Oh yeah. Am I going to write more of them? Yes, of course. And I'm going to do it again and again and again, because it makes a difference over the lifespan, and and it multiplies itself. You're literally leveling up your environment, and there's osmosis that happens. Just by being around people that are moving, you start moving.
Agree. Well, I have to pee really quick, so I just want to see if while I pee, if you maybe have a couple things that you could just tell people, like quick action steps that they could do to either just find more happiness in their life or just, make more money on the internet.
You're the only not I guess I should say non-marketer who admits they have to pee on a Facebook Live. So you go do your thing. I'll keep them busy for the minute. Well, everybody, I think we have, if you have any questions here, I'd be happy to answer that. But I would highly recommend to everybody, we do have a promo code going on. Anyone who wants to join the core, any new member who wants to join, you can, we have a promo code through July 8th. And that promo code is CORE for life. If you just type in that word CORE for life, not the number 4, but just the word for, you get 50% off your first month. So it's going to give you $50 off. And I can tell you if it's insanely worth it and is worth all that. So CORE for life is the promo code that you can go use. Let's see. John wants me to look at this. I've hijacked John Vaughn's show. What should we do? What should we do, guys? We should talk more about the core. I'm just kidding. CORE for life. Yep. Mario's a member. We got some good people in here. It's good stuff. Any questions right here? Anything that you guys want to see from the core? We have several core members that are in this right now. Any questions about that? I think our next, by the way, we have been working with Scott Lucas, and he's helped us to come up with a compliance funnel that you can import, and it gives you all your privacy policy, your terms and conditions, your GDPR stuff, and all those pages, which is always a bummer for marketers. Like, how do I just get my compliance pages up? So this is a page that it's a funnel that you can have linked to that will give you access to all of those individual pages for yourself. And so any funnel that you're creating, you just link to those things in like your footer, and it'll have all your terms and conditions. So that will be in the core very, very soon. So excited about that. Give us your 30 days tip in 5 minutes. 30. I'm assuming that you mean 30 days tip from the 30 days book. Here is the fastest path to cash. It is not affiliate marketing. It is not e-commerce. It is not anything that requires paid traffic at all. Here's the 30 days in a box. Is you use a specific skill and go talk to a business owner. I know everyone's going to say, oh, I've heard this story before. Talk to a specific business owner. You do not pitch them what you want to pitch them. Speak to a business owner directly. Ask them what is a problem in their marketing. Ask them what's going on in their business. Listen to everything that they say that might not be working exactly well. And then you literally, in the moment, offer to solve that problem for them. You do that 5 or 10 times. 1 to 2 of those people will close at about a $3,000 to $5,000 price point to have that problem solved. But the goal is to seek first to understand and then to be understood. So you want to listen to what it is that's a pain point with them. What are they struggling with? And then at the end of that, you make an offer. One of the big quotes that I might have made it up, but if you are making offers, you are very likely making money. You are very likely making sales. If you are not making any offers to anybody, you are not making any money. It's impossible for you to make money if you are not out there making offers. So people do that through funnels. People do that through phone calls. High ticket sales are almost always done over the phone, one-on-one, because there's no diffusion of responsibility, right? Or it happens in a live event atmosphere. That's really difficult for people to start with, to get a lot of people in a room and to have all that authority and expertise and that kind of a thing. So what I teach my students to do is to build only the minimum viable product, enough for people to trust that you could potentially help them get where they want to go. So maybe I create jordanmederichconsulting.com. It's a simple landing page with a link to a scheduler. That's it. That's the whole funnel. It's just enough to say, hey, here's what I could do for you. Here's kind of that in case they ask, and then go start knocking on doors, making phone calls, talking, posting on Facebook about what you can do. Not necessarily what you can do, but asking them what they need done, and then literally go out and solve that for like 3 different business owners. You're going to find that all of them have the same problems. It's usually around lead generation. They don't have enough leads. Sales conversion, the leads that actually come in, they can't convert them, right? So those 2 problems, or systems or operations. So sometimes they're just really, really inefficient with either their marketing or their business model. And so some of those things just need to be, they're holes that need to be filled. And so helping them to just solve those problems. If you don't know how to do it, you can go learn how to do it. If you need help doing it, you can hire someone else out to do that thing. That, I'm telling you, is the fastest path to cash, and the fastest path to validating a business model that ultimately can set you free. So that's pretty cool. Perfect timing.
Well, yeah, I was listening to you. It doesn't take me that long to pee. I didn't want to interrupt your flow because I know that's important. But I'm still curious about that kind of more elaborate, like, work with you personally and coaching. Like, how do I find information on that? Do I just contact you personally, message you? Is there a website I go or something?
Yeah. So it's pretty much by invitation only. It's not like there's a funnel or anything about that, but yeah. But if you wanted to, it's literally a conversation to be had. And I would want to find out if you're going to make a profit from it. And if you are, then it would make sense to work together. But yeah, if you want to just reach out, let's schedule a chat.
And anybody else that wants to, they can just message you, right, and find out more about that. And then they can find you easily in your group. You got a Facebook group where you help, where you just kind of help people every day and provide, you do motivational Mondays there. Your kid shows up sometimes and helps with them.
Yeah. So every inside the Expert Launch group, if anyone wants to join, they can. It's free. We do every Monday. We've got like live trainings that happen. There's access into the core. There's special links to freebies or any types of assets or resources that are going to help digital marketers to do really well. The one thing I am finding is that there's a lot of affiliate marketing groups. This is not an affiliate marketing group. It's not intended to be that, just like John is not marketing. This is not an affiliate marketing group. This is not intended to only help with people with affiliate marketing. I think there's too many affiliate marketing groups out there. That's my opinion. So it is not that. It's meant to really help you to up level.
This is how much I'm not marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
This is literally how much I'm not marketing. I have t-shirts printed on it that say I'm not a marketer. So we got the core, and then we got your group, the Expert Launch. And then if we want, we can just reach out to you personally to talk about your higher level services, right?
Yeah. So the three primary things for free. It's the Expert Launch group. Anyone can go in there and we do some cool stuff. There is the core, and that's a monthly thing. We have a promo code this month. It's Core for Life. Gives anyone a free or half off your first month to try it out, see if it's a right fit for you. And then my highest level is really coaching and helping you to solve the problems that otherwise you wouldn't be able to.
Cool. So anything else you want to talk about while we're here live with all these random people on Facebook that I'm connected to?
This is
so much.
Yeah, this has been cool. I'll tell you what. It's the longest interview I think I've ever had over a Facebook Live. So count yourself as unique, if not a marketer. You're the only one.
So we're good. You're good.
I'm square, man. Yeah, I got some work to do.
I do too. I got a lot of other stuff. So look, it's been real. I've really appreciated it. So
yeah, you too, man.
Provided a lot of value here, and it's been great talking to you, especially about the SAM funnels. So
yeah, right on.
Live stream, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about those one-on-one services. All right. Yeah,
right on. I appreciate you letting me on your Facebook wall. And the SAM funnel is dead, and better things are here and coming. So
You've been on there before, so I tagged you in a post before where I actually, because I got the SAM funnel and I started running traffic to it, solo ads to it, like right before ClickFunnels shut it down, and you were like, hey, take it down, and then the videos disappeared and stuff like that. And I went and I took one of my softwares, Text in Bulk, and I was getting, like, literally I built over, just from the little solo traffic that ran, I built like over 150 opt-ins that gave me their cell phone number, because I included one of my softwares as, you know, optional field, give me your cell phone number. And then my software will do the VIP line, because you had that VIP support. So they could just give me that phone number, and then my software would automatically send them text messages and automatically send them phone calls. And there was a follow-up sequence to call them like, hey, have you done this? Did you finish step 2? Press 1. Did you finish step 3? Press 1. Do you need help with this step? Press 2 to talk to a live person. And they could just literally get on the phone with me. And then I gave that to my partners. So anyways, I'm gonna end this live, and then we'll continue this chat about how, you know, we can work together on your coaching program. So I'm gonna see you guys later.
Yeah, man, I appreciate your time today. And thanks for everyone for watching. Appreciate that a lot too.
We're not technically live anymore, Jordan. So anyways, hey,
we're done. Okay.
I appreciate this a lot. I think it's been really great. It helps me. So these interviews actually I have a paid course on how to make money on Facebook, where it's like it's a free course, lead magnet, and then a very low ticket, like $7 a month offer, where I kind of just give help, and I just basically record what I do on Facebook to make money, and then show them, okay, I'm doing this to make money. And then there's a full-blown course that's $3K, where I offer coaching and just kind of, you know, say, hey, did you watch my course? What do you need help with? And how can we apply this to you? And for me, it's like a natural intro and upsell into getting people into my actual partnership. So there's a section on interviewing people and how you can leverage other people's audiences and stuff, just by, like, if you don't have an audience, you can just start interviewing people that have an audience, and you can build your audience organically, just because, you know, like, people are typically going to share that interview and tag you and be like, oh, I did this interview with John, watch what I was talking about. Especially if you let people talk about their products and services, right? If you let somebody else talk about, hey, I offer this and this, and you just let them do that, then they're going to go in and essentially give you some social proof, which will just build your audience. So I put them in that section showing, okay, hey, here's interviews that I've done with people. And then I give specific ways, okay, hey, how did I leverage this to monetize this opportunity, you know? So that's kind of like why I do them. But something I'd love to talk to you about is, like, we talked about that, you know, raising the price of your core membership to $297, and including like some type of rights to resell that. But I'd love to see if you'd be interested. Like, so I just raised my my partnership fee to $297 a month. And I think it would be cool, like, maybe if we did a core promo with the tier 5 partnership, where it was $297 a month, and then anybody who bought it, they got the core included in the partnership, and you got your $97 a month for the core, and then, like, we split 50-50 the stuff over. So basically you'd get $197 and they would get the core membership, plus they would get my partnership for $297, which is $297. So you'd get $197, and then I'd get the other $100, because you'd get your $97 for the actual core membership that they would have to pay you anyways. And then the rest of the $297 for my partnership, we would just basically split that 50-50. So 100 for you, 100 for me. I think that could be something that we could do, maybe, if you'd be interested in that.
Yeah. So I guess I'm confused. You're saying that I increase, you're talking about just about the current core membership?
Yeah. No, I'm saying that I would have like a special partnership that would be, you know, this partnership is essentially just like it's a partnership between me and you. So they're going to get my partnership that's normally $297 a month, and they're going to get your core membership that's normally $97 a month for just my $297 a month price. And then we'll split. You'll take the $97 for your core membership, and then we'll just split the rest over 50-50. So you're still getting the $97 that you charge for the core. And what else are they getting with the core? Well, they're getting my partnership that I've charged $297 for. So it's a way for them to get your core membership, but not have to pay essentially whatever $297 plus 97 is, and you don't actually lose the 97 for your core. So you don't see any less money by having to give them access to your core membership.
So are you saying you would sell it or I would sell it?
hopefully you, because I could, hopefully in my ideal, hopefully you would sell it, because then I don't technically lose money. If I sell it, technically I'm losing money, because if I sell it, I could probably sell the 297 without adding on the cord. I mean, I could sell it and promote it. Ideally, in an ideal, because I just like to be honest and transparent. And an ideal solution, it would be just like something that you would say, hey, if you want John's partnership that costs $297, I've partnered with him, and you can buy it through me and also get my core membership as well.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I can think on it. If I were to launch it at $297, it would definitely be, I think I'd be leveraging a little more coaching and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not closed off to anything. Have you guys done browser extensions?
Yeah, we're making one right now. So we're not super heavy into them, but we have done them. I'm making one right now for the stuff in my social selling course, making money on Facebook, that basically fixes all the issues and all the different extensions that I use to add people and delete people and manage my content and stuff on Facebook, send messages to people and stuff like that. So I got somebody building me one here, but yeah, we've done it.
So do you have like a bunch of clients? I see you have a ton of people working there. Like what?
We don't have any clients anymore. So basically, we worked as a service-based company for 3 years, and that's all I did was client work. So I worked with local governments, like state governments and local governments, and then just worked with other software development firms, and then a small amount of just end clients. Most of my clients were software development firms, because they were just easier to get them, because I knew they needed my service. So we did that for like 3 years. And as we were working for all these clients, I was building softwares to solve problems that we had in our own business. So I didn't have to pay other people for their software. And then I created the Tier 5 partnership to be able to transition from, and I fired $130,000 a month worth of revenue from clients coming in, and told them to basically fuck off. I can't build your stuff anymore, because I brought in the partners and basically told my partners, okay, hey, look, you can resell all our software. You can keep 100% of the revenue. You just pay us a monthly fee. And then I covered my OCI, basically my operational cost inflated with inflation and a risk covariant and basically a historic growth rate. So once I did that, once I had a pool of partners that were giving me that much dedicated revenue, where my minimum operating cost plus inflation plus drop off risk and plus historic growth rate. Once I had that number of revenue coming in, then I just gave all my clients a 60-day notice and was like, look, I can't sell you software engineering services anymore, because we're not going to sell those services. And then I transitioned to, we only work on our own software products right now, and we don't sell our services. So
Yeah, right on.
so I built everything as a service-based company. So we grew to this big. So we got like 38 full-time employees right now, and we grew to this size by selling services. But that's a short-term goal, right? Like, because it requires, after there's so much time and effort and revenue involved in acquiring a client, and then to have to turn around and after you acquire the client to spend more time to service them, to give them what they paid for, it's not super scalable. So SaaS is much info products and software, that's really all that's scalable. Because if I have an info product, once I get a client, I don't have to do anything but say, hey, there's the info. With the software, I don't have to do anything but say, hey, there's the username and password. So
yeah, right. Yeah, I've had a couple ideas and whatnot. So I'm always putting out feelers for how to create the actual tech side. And I've got some people from India that I've worked with that have been pretty good. But
that's where I live at.
Yeah, I figured that was. Where were you? Are you from India? Were you born?
Yeah, no, I'm from Florida, so I'm from the U.S. My last job sent me here to essentially interview companies and hire companies to outsource their work to, which was a software firm. They were like, look, go over to India, find companies that can do our jobs, and we can just start sending them our undesirable engineering work. So I came over here and went through the process of, putting people through an evaluation matrix of their infrastructure, their hierarchy, working capital, what their dev process was, how it would be to actually communicate with them and hand over projects, and what type of quality they could give us. And then, onboarded them, gave them test projects, managed the onshore-offshore relationship, and basically put in place processes to be able to delegate the work and get the work back to our quality. And then after doing that, And then that company basically laying off most of the engineers that worked on our stateside facility. I was just kind of like, fuck it, I'll start my own company, and you know, I'll just do the sales and marketing and find the clients, and then I'll just get these guys. Because literally they were charging, when I was working for them as a project manager, they were charging $275 an hour for stuff that they were sending over here for $6 an hour to get done. So like I saw the math and I was like, wow, you know, like literally, like I'm privy to this information because my job role, I'm like, okay, we just charged them $1.5 million. These dudes did this for $32,000. And that's our fucking markup there. So I should start doing that. So now we just basically, what we do now is we just consume our own services. How we build software for other people is whenever it kind of coincides with what we want to do. And kind of like you can think of outsourced research and development, all right? So if it makes sense to do something with somebody for one of two reasons, either strategic partnerships or because they want to do something very similar to what we want to do. And because of that, the research and development costs, they essentially bear. And we built the product for them and they have it. And once we're done, we have all the knowledge of how to do that because we wanted to do that anyways or something similar. So whether it's something where it's okay, working with them would form a strategic partnership that we could leverage, or we can outsource our research and development costs. Other than that, we just kind of build our own stuff.
Yeah, right on. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm 4 minutes late for an appointment here, but would love to chat with you more, and I'm sure there's something we'll be ending up doing together. And this was fun. I ended up figured it'd be like 20 minutes, but we rocked it.
Yeah, if you have anything or have any questions, just send them to me, and I'll just in the interview I'll just include a link to the core membership in your group, all right? Because there's and your Facebook profile in case they want to contact you for high level services. Yeah,
thanks, man. Show me, send me the link to that. I'd just love to see what else you're posting in there and that follow you along there.
Yeah, sure. I'll send you the link where like the stuff goes. It goes inside my course. And then I'll show you like whenever I make the little page where the interview sits, I'll show you how all that looks. But it gets sit inside that course right there, and the $7 a month version. So if you go through the $7 a month version, it's one of those modules because it teaches you just about interviewing people and how to make money by it.
If it's possible to just not link me to the SAM funnel, especially in terms of SEO, that'd be helpful. And just
I won't talk about the SAM funnel at all if you don't want me to.
I'm trying to kind of wash that away, to be honest, in case you couldn't tell from all the
no big deal. I mean,
the madness.
No problem there. All right, man, it's been great. Appreciate it.
Thanks, dude. Catch you in a bit.
Have a great one. Later.